I love lore. Little tidbit about me, I am a sucker for a good story. And mix it with Minecraft, chef's kiss. Miss Adventures SMP, love it. Vampires SMP, fell head over heels first episode. But today, we're going back to the very first lore SMP I have ever watched. The Empires SMP. If you're not aware, the Empires SMP is an SMP that happened 4 to 5 years ago, where a bunch of creators came together and built an empire in the biome of their choosing. Today, we're going to be visiting my favorite empire in particular. Let's go say hi to the Queen of the Ocean, shall we? We're going to go deal with Destiny, and we're going to be updating this ocean monument. I'm going to be giving this ocean monument a full makeover inspired by the beautiful ocean empire ruled by LD Shadow Lady all so long ago. I mean, honestly, what am I still doing here? I've got a bargain with fate. Let's go. So I have a few steps to my plan, but the very first one is getting rid of the block. Getting rid of the items that I do not need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this build palette, and I'm going to go plop it over here. And then I'm gonna start breaking stuff. Hello everybody, if you're new here, welcome. If you're new here, welcome back. My codename is Nightingale, but you can call me Bird for short. And today, I completely forgot to say my intro while recording this video for some reason. So, you know, that's fun. See another crime, look up, may continue for a long, long time. Grab so great salmon scam. Let's remember, class. Every build has its ugly phase. This is the ugly phase. Anyway, I stripped the unneeded stuff where I think I'm going to put things that I just don't need anymore. These are going to become much nicer arches, but I'm just going to leave them there for now. And I might shorten this platform soon. But what we need is the build palette. And yeah, the build palette is over here, but I do need a few more things. There we go. We've got the palette of both the Ocean Empire and the Ocean Monument stuck together, which honestly they're kind of similar palettes. Both use Prismarine. So now before I start building, I'm going to go ahead and use the quartz and start building up a few structures, like lining for structures to put in. It looks a bit, it looks even more like a mess, but I swear it's gonna make sense when I finish it. I promise. And with that, we've got all the main additional structures in. I've got a pillar back there. It looks a little funky. It's fine. And now what I really need to do, oh, and I made this bigger, and I really like how big and open it is. And if I ever like actually do the interior, which I do have a plan for that, but that's not gonna be for today. This is gonna be a very nice big open door. And now I just need to do some cleanup work because there's a bunch of empty spots here. I need to make this look better and stuff like that. And then we could get into the smaller details. But first, let me get out of the water. What do you guys think of my skin? I've been trying to design a default skin for me to use. There's like little feathers on the back. I really like it, although I feel like I might still work on it a little bit. So there's that. And while I'm doing this, since you're still here, and if you're new, would you consider subscribing? I would greatly appreciate it. This year, my goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and at the time of recording, I've got 233, which is really good. And I would love it if you were to join along, if you're entertained, of course. I think that looks a bit more structurally sound now. Now it's time to add the details to make it feel magical. Okay, that sounded a little cheesy, but stick with me here. So I got all of the structures in. I've got one in the back here, although you can. Oh, I just took a break from filming. I forgot how tiny that was. We're gonna ignore the problem. Let's ignore the problem. We got most of the details here, but as you can see, it's all very plain. I mean, we've got quartz. All of this is just plain smooth quartz. So what I'm sorry, my voice is kind of going a little bit. I was recently ill, but I've gotten over it now. I promise I'm fine. It was nothing serious, just a cold, but my voice has not recovered yet. So I was hoping it was fine enough for me to record, but I think you could tell. So what I need to do is, I think I'm gonna leave this open here because I kind of like the openness. What I'm gonna do is that I gotta texture this a bit. And y'all know how in the build, Lizzie had her Prisma Palace all built up on like mossy cobblestone stuff. Hi Dolphin. I think it might be too much of a contrast actually to actually have it look good. Okay, I might add a little bit of this, and then I'll probably add some patterns of prismarine all throughout. I don't think she had any. Ooh, hello. That's a nice contrast. I like that. I don't think she actually had any patterns on the castle, but it's just I'm trying to break up all of the stark white, if that makes sense. I'm sure it does. I make total sense all the time, right guys? Right? Anyway, let's get to some more detailing. we go. We've got some more details in, breaking up the just flat quartz walls. I've got a little bit of texturing done with the quartz. However, I might go in and I just go like bop, bop, bop. See, so it's kind of like breaks it up a little bit. So give me a second. It's fine, you probably won't notice it, but I will. Now, I want to add a little bit more fun-ish colors by adding coral. So I've pretty much finished with everything in the exterior. Oh! I have seemed to have turned blue. And is that a tail? Weird. Anyway, why don't we get on with a bit of a final tour? Obviously, first up here we have our heightened arches, which I think are pretty good for swimming through. This is most likely gonna be the thumbnail, not gonna lie. I'm stuck in the floor. But it looks very nice, very grand, very grand. And then around we have a bit gardens of coral and seagrass. I don't think here will stay just coral and seagrass, but we've got that. And then we got our domes here, which honestly did take me a while to figure out because I suck at domes so bad. And then we have our top here, which is in fact still accessible. But I did have the idea to bring things out to the top to have stuff up here, but I wanted to keep the ocean monument part in by keeping it completely underwater. And if we start swimming towards here, we'll see it's the exact same, not very, oh, I have blocked it up. Not very fun looking ocean monument. But if this video ends up doing well, I think I might do another video where I completely hollow this thing out and make it Prisma Palace worthy. And maybe in that video I'll add some lily pads up here for the Ocean Empire. That concludes me upgrading the Ocean Monument inspired by the Empires Smp. Why don't we go into a bit of cinematics? If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, maybe consider subscribing if you're entertained, of course. I'm trying it. My goal for 2026 is to reach 1,000 subscribers and get monetized. And if you liked it, why don't you stop by? If you want to see me do another creative building thing kind of like this, I have a video where I upgraded the desert temple into something that's kind of inspired by the Egyptians and more fantasy-like and a bit more fun as well. Don't worry, I did the interior on that one. So that video will be right there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!